The best way to play the Palladium market. We'll take a look at something called Sibanye-Stillwater today, SBSW. That's a non-physical play. We are all about the bullion here, but sometimes we'd like to look at the other things too. Use the time codes below to go to that part. Of course, we'll do the usual gold, silver, platinum analysis as well. Use the time codes, people. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. In the first 1 minute of the show, however, we do what we call the Synchronised Slurp. Now, that's where you grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage and we slurp our beverages together. Normally, we have a whole bunch of people watching, but maybe I did something wrong with the notifications today, but that's okay. What we'll do is we'll do the Synchronised Slurp, and when we get more people in, we'll do a second one just for you. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Slurp it. That is the rule here. My name is Joe Main. I've worked in the precious metals industry in Australia for 11 years over multiple retail bullion dealers. We're talking Goldstackers. We're talking Bullion Now, of course. We're talking Ainslie as well. And since I left the bullion retail industry earlier this year, I now do this weekdaily live show. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. You get a big warm and fuzzy feeling when you do. This is what we do every single weekday morning. Oh, we've got people coming in now. What happened with the notification? Must have come a little bit late. Tony Peterson is here. We'll do some shout outs, then we'll talk about our topic of the day. Monday morning, people. G'day, Jason. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. Good to see you. And David Williams as well. Out of interest, tell me below, did you get the notification late or did I do it too late? Did I just start everything too late? Maybe that's what it was this week. Had a crazy weekend. Where was I? Friday night, I was in Brisbane. And then Saturday, I flew back down to Melbourne, but then I had to stay out. I didn't get to go home because I had a gig in somewhere in Melbourne as well. A little bit tired, a little bit it's a hat day as well. But yeah, GMS everyone. CT says GMS. Y'all, great to see you. Tony Pearson says, I only got the notification at 8:31. Oh, just then. And that's 9:31 for you. Okay, so you know what I did? Number one, what I must have done is I started the live. I created the event too late, but also I started on time. Like I didn't even wait a few minutes. Normally it's like 9:32, 9:33. But yeah, it was like, I thought it went down. The timer went to 0. I went, I'll just start now. I'll never do that again. I'll always just be late. That's the best idea. Great to see so many people watching. Good morning, chat fam. As you know, Tony Peterson is Chat Mum, and we love Chat Mum, don't we? All right, my funky people, what shall we do first? Well, first off, you got to know that Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and Wealthstack, wealthstack.com are my brand partners. You'll hear a little bit more about them in a little bit later in the show. Just waiting for a couple more people to pop in. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to flip it around. Are we going to flip it around or we just talk about it? No, we're going to flip it around today. We're going to flip it. Let's do live gold, silver, and platinum analysis. Then we will talk about Sibanye-Stillwater, the best potential Palladium play if you don't want to buy the physical. So we're going to do that stuff today and give a few people a chance to get in because I really don't want you to miss the... I was already talking, was I? Interesting. I really don't want you to miss the Palladium talk today. If you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Stackers. Maybe I didn't even start off live. So let's take a look at the price of gold, silver, and platinum. It's an interesting week. I think it'll be an interesting week. Let's share the screen, people. Okay, you are looking at gold on the... Oh, it's the monthly time frame. Okay, priced in US dollars, 2,735 US dollars. I'll pop on all the indicators. And I don't have a lot, or I don't have many of them on, actually, just the basics right here. As you know, this is the mother of all trend lines, 1980, 2011, and now we're above the mother of all trend lines. It's great to see that we're above it. The longer we spend above it and the more we break out above it, the much more likely that the eventual retrace, which we will have, because look at this, we will have a big retrace. We want it to happen from around here and not from here. I mean, as I've been saying, gold is looking peaky from here. Preferably, you don't want it to peak here, though. I would call this something like this a false breakout, almost like a false breakout, and then a fast move to the downside. That's when you would have that move down here. What we really want to see for the health of it is to climb up to, say, 28.75 to 3,000, then have the retrace from here, and that's your retrace. And then you bounce off from there. That would be fantastic. Okay, we've talked about this before. On the daily time frame, I'm going to get pretty quickly through this. On the daily time frame, we are... Oh, okay. Is that just faked us out? Oh, interesting. Okay, so here we are. Look, above 2,685, above the mother of all trend lines. And we're just in this price discovery area, and that's really great to see. So we made a brand new all-time high last week, $2,760 roughly. And if I pop onto the 4-hour, just out of interest, what did we see? That just opened, and it just had, look at that gap down right there. Let's see, on the Fibonacci, what did that do? Did that top out at the 0.786? That'd be really funny if it did. Oh, look at that. So that is the 0.786. And look, it's bang on the money too. So that high and that low, then it goes, creep up to the, what do you know? In hindsight, and again, this is how you can potentially look at bottoms. In hindsight, that became a 61.8. So this is crazy. And then right there. Okay, so found some resistance at the 0.786. That's at 2,748. US dollars, and it's a rejection so far. So we've just opened the day and we've rejected exactly at it. So that's the mini hurdle. The tiny little mini hurdle that we need to get over is 2,750, and then it'd be pretty smooth sailing to the next level, whatever that's going to be. The next big level, as I said, is at least 2,875. That's where we'd like to see it go before having a large retrace, in which it will. That's pretty much it. If we hold, we just need to probably hold, I would say, you would want to hold 2,730 preferably. Otherwise, we're probably just coming back down. A test of here at 2,685, not surprising, okay, because you've had such a large run. Again, this is on the daily time frame. Preferably hold there. If it doesn't hold there, you can do previous resistance. Let's at least hold the mother of all trend lines. That has to hold. If that doesn't hold, then we're talking about this is the move, and then we're going to have a bigger retrace, very likely. Okay, you've already had one test above and a false breakdown. The second time we start closing days below the mother of all trend lines would probably signal to me, not financial advice, then that's not going to be a second fake out, okay? This would be a real move, and then you'd get that 20 to 25% maybe retrace in the price. But look, so far so good. We're above it. Nothing to worry about. It was just interesting to see that that rejection at bang on the 0.786 right there. Funny how that works, isn't it? That's gold. I don't think there's much I need to say, because look, this is the start of the week. We've just opened the market, the Australasian market. And then, New York, etc., they haven't even woken up yet. They're still on Sunday time. So, the world hasn't woken up fully. So let's just see what happens. Let's just stay above there. Yeah, cool, good. That's good. Watch out for that 2,875 to 3,000 eventually. I think we wanted to get to there first before. So we have that retrace. Yeah, that's it, man. Cool. I know, this is so technical and wonderful, isn't it? Here at Good Morning Stackers, you get the daily weather report. That is gold. Silver, $33.45 US cents. Again, we use the US dollar mainly. It's the world's reserve currency. Currently still above $32.50. Okay, yep, so far so good. And not a lot else to say, except we'll look at the relative strength index. Still, yeah, we've been in extremely overvalued. We've just touched it. Not a lot to say. I know it's going to be a boring precious metals analysis, but at least we've got that topic coming up about palladium. Okay. So let's just stay above there. Preferably, that would be the good signal that we stay above this uptrend line right there. So that would be the really bullish move. Okay, you do something like that. Cool. You know, whatever that is, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where exactly one's going to go. But as long as we maintain that, that's a good move, okay? Otherwise, you don't want to break this one, okay? Be something like that. I don't know. But don't, if it breaks that, yeah, no big deal. If it breaks that, not great. And of course, 29.80, the new line in the sand, you break that, bang, down to 28 she goes. And very likely down to 26 she goes as well. So far, so good though. Don't stress, we're nowhere near it. Okay, we're even above that, so that's great. So far, so good for silver. We're above 32.50, which is setting up the move currently. Doesn't mean it happens, but it's setting up the move to get to 37 to 40 US dollars in 2024. That remains my personal top target, no higher than that. I could be wrong, could sail to $50. Watch out for $38.50. It's a key Fibonacci level on the way up. Yeah, just did the quick silver one as well. I'm going to call this Casual Monday. Let's take a look at platinum. This is interesting, okay? I find this very interesting. Look at this. Yes, last week, okay, we invalidated this. This was not a head and shoulders pattern, right? We had this little thing going on here. Then we broke out of it. I said, if this is an invalidated head and shoulders pattern, we would just need to really see it close above here, please. Close above here, please. And we did. And then, gee, what do you know? We broke out of the February 2021 trend line. Let me show you. We finally broke out of this trend line right here. Again, it has broken out before, but it has failed to hold for any significant period of time. So we're still in that, I'm in excited mode, but we've just got to watch out for these fake outs. Again, this is on the weekly time frame. So you can spend, actually here, out of interest though, it did not spend a lot of time. It actually was less than a week, roughly, that it spent in there. So we just need to stay in this area between this line and this line for at least a week or so, okay, would be really, really preferable. But what I was going to show you is we broke out, and then, gee, what do you know? When did we come back and test? Bang on the money. That's right on the money too. Right there at this resistance point at $1,005, and it also coincided exactly, look at that, right on the cross, right, pretty much, at the February 2021 downtrend line as well. So that's good, okay? We've had a test, and it has held as support on the daily time frame. And also the good news is we closed last week. Now, this is the really positive news for platinum. Take a look at this. We closed 1 week, okay? And then we had that move. So we've closed 1 week. And so far, so good. We just really need to close a second week above it. If you break back down here and close, this week below there, okay, not good for me. Okay, but we're in excited mode. Let's stay above there. Fantastic. So while we're above here, I'm excited, and then I'm confident at the moment that we make a push for the final hurdle of 1,115. Close any month above that, and it's full bull for platinum. That's it. We're above support, and that's really good to see. Out of interest for my new subscribers, I have 778 subscribers now. So welcome to all the new ones over the weekend. This is my lower end of the range. I don't know if we're going to get there because we're above this. So it's looking really good. We're in my excited zone. Just keep an eye out for the best buy zone in case you've never seen this chart before. $900 anywhere down to $700. We had this false breakdown. Okay, false breakdown. It faked us out and then had a huge move back. So that's really positive for platinum. So percentage chance that we get back into the best buy zone, it's like, while we're above here, it's probably like a 10% chance. So 90% sure we're going to, 10%, so 90% sure we don't see the best buy zone hit again. And that's why we're above here. So we're in excited mode for platinum. And I'm repeating myself. That's gold, silver, platinum. Take a look at the gold to silver ratio really quickly. Let's see. Gee, what do you know? We have found resistance twice, exactly at. So here we are. This is on the weekly. That was the daily. This is the weekly. What happened? We had that move. Actually, sorry, I'll go back to the daily. This is the gold to silver ratio, tracking gold against silver. As this is going up, gold's outperforming silver. As this is going down, silver's outperforming gold. For all of us silver holders, which I mainly am silver, we want this to tank and go blip, 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 all the way down. Because later on down the track, we want to swap a bunch of our silver for gold, maybe, potentially. So we are very excited that it broke this area here. Below here confirms long-term silver dominance. We broke below. We failed to close a week below it, though. Okay, so let me show you here. We broke below, but then we closed. We spiked above it, and we closed just above it as well. Here's the positive thing, though. We did not break here, no higher than here, please, and that's at 82. We did not close above it, so that's great. Okay, so we closed below, and on the daily, yeah, look, we had that spike on Friday. Okay, so far so good. Hopefully we see this tick over. That's what you want to see. You want to see this tick over and do something like that. If you start closing days again below there, great news for silver holders. But holding pattern at the moment, I guess. It's good news, but what you need to watch out for is something like this. Watch out for this. That, and then a bounce up. You go back into there. Ooh, okay. No higher than here, please. Don't break this line. Thank you. Don't break that downtrend line. So don't break there. See that? Don't break that. That would signal, okay, gold's really probably going to continue its run up. Okay. That is the gold to silver ratio, but so far so good for silver holders. Jeez, man, is that it? Great to see you all today. Tony Pearson says, I always tap it on the way in. I always tap it on the way in. You just know it's going to be a good stream. Tony. Of course, though, hit the like button. That's what you're talking about, Tony. Hit the like button, people. It helps me with the algorithm. Let's see. Good to see all of you here. Pete Repeat says, GMS running late. Thanks for saving me a seat. You are all very welcome. Good on you, Tony. Let's see. AJA says, agreed. 3250 is essential. Absolutely. CT says, very few people in my orbit even know about BRICS. Yes, much less about the summit. Talking about the BRICS summit. Of course, I would really love to know. Here we go. Let's talk about this very quickly. I'm going to talk about the BRICS summit. Where are we? Tony says, I watched Putin speak at the BRICS summit on an Indian channel live. No Western media is showing it. Wow. Putin spoke about many things, including Trump saying he wants peace. I didn't see any single word of that. Now, here's this. Okay, this is crazy. And we'll get to the Palladium talk and Sibanye-Stillwater, etc. But, so I am pretty well versed in looking at the news, etc. I think, and if you're on X, you're probably getting, a much more a both-sided thing. Even on X, I haven't seen a single thing about BRICS. I haven't been searching for it, but it hasn't been coming up in my feed, if that makes sense. And there's no reason it shouldn't be. So, wow, you had to watch it on an Indian channel live. Yeah, no Western media is showing it. Isn't that really interesting? I didn't know about that. I didn't even see that he said Trump wants peace. Well, that's true. Yes. Let's see, people. Western media has crickets on the BRICS nations. Yeah, on the BRICS summit. Collectively, BRICS countries have 30% of the world's GDP, $30 trillion. Russia is launching its metals exchange. Yes, we talked about that last week, and you weren't here for that, Tony. We talked about the metals exchange. Exciting times for the potential of real value spot price. I do agree. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the potential best Palladium play. Now, normally, we are the physical people, right? We stack physical metals: gold, silver, platinum too. I've got a bunch of one. I'm a big silver guy. I've got a little bit of gold and I have a little bit of platinum as well. Stacking palladium is a lot harder. Okay, so there's other little plays you can do. Today we're going to take a look at Sibanye-Stillwater. It's a stock. It's a stock on the New York Stock Exchange. You might be able to get it on other indices, other markets as well. We're going to take a quick look at that. It might be the best play for Palladium if you feel Palladium is in a bottoming kind of territory. Many people do believe that is the case at the moment, and many people are also talking about and looking at and investing in Sibanye-Stillwater as well. But quickly, why is Palladium so much harder to stack physically? Number one, it's just harder to get. Okay, just harder to get. Not many. It's harder to press and to make and to manufacture into bullion grade metal, so it's harder to do. Not many people do it. There's very few wholesalers to get it from, etc. So it's just harder to get. Number one. Number two, because of that reason, the premiums are generally higher. I don't remember the exact percentages of premiums, but I remember working in the precious metals industry. It's like, we got some palladium in. Wow, how did we get that? And also, in Australia, unfortunately, palladium has the goods and services tax, 10% extra. So here in Australia, for my international subscribers, we have a good old GST, a goods and services tax, a 10% on goods and services. Precious metals here in Australia, gold, silver, and platinum are GST free. But palladium, unfortunately, is not. For some reason, don't know why. Government bureaucracy, who knows? So then you have to pay the extra 10% as well. So just here in Australia in particular, it's harder to get. We're a giant island, harder to get. Premiums are higher, extra GST, and people like, most bullion deals are like, I'm not even going to bother getting it in because who's going to buy it? Cool? So it's harder for us, but that's why I think this Sibanye-Stillwater might be something at least to have a look in. And as I did post on as a YouTube post just to my subscribers the other day, some of you may have seen it, I said I have personally taken a very, very small position in Sibanye-Stillwater SBSW. We're talking like a few $100, okay? I'm looking to potentially get in more as I get some more fundage and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at, first we'll take a look at the price of palladium. We took a quick look last week. We'll take a fundamental look at it, and then we'll talk about Sibanye-Stillwater, the stock. Okay, let's take a look at palladium. Let's go. Let's go, people. Share the screen. Here is Palladium XPD. Okay, this is on the daily time frame. It's priced in US dollars, $1,195 US dollars right now. We're going to really move out to we'll do the monthly, I think. Let's take a look at the monthly. And this is all the stuff I've shown you just recently. Okay, here it is. It is looking really good. Okay, and many people are suggesting the same. You can see a very clear breakout. Okay, we're forming this bottom again. This is on the monthly time frame. You'll remember maybe 2-3 months ago or even longer, I did a video where we're in this bottoming pattern. I think we double bottomed, something like that. And I think I was talking about the double bottom in palladium. I'll have to double check that. I don't just want to make random statements and then not back it up. But I'm pretty sure I was talking about this double bottom here. We starting to curve around, it was looking like. And then I was saying on the relative strength index, I don't think we'd broken out of here just yet. Maybe we had broken out, but I was saying it was looking bottomed. And then just in the last month, we've seen this huge move. Okay. Many people are talking about it, including the excellent ASX trader, who I think you should be subscribing to as well. They do some wonderful work talking about this, and Sibanye-Stillwater. Very clear bottoming, I think, at least for now. Okay, we don't know what can happen, but I put in my particular areas here. I would say getting excited, and I'm interested in palladium right now. As I said, I've already taken a position in SBFW, so I'm in getting interested territory. I'm getting really excited for palladium, just the metal itself. When it closes weeks and months above $1,455 US. And the final hurdle for me is at $2,150 US, which signals to me you start closing above 2,150. That's like new bull confirmation. Okay, we're probably in a new bull for Palladium for a while. It looks like, and given a whole bunch of other reasons, the fundamental reasons, which we'll take a look at in just a second, and we'll take a look at Sibanye-Stillwater as well. So that is my thoughts, okay, on Palladium, the metal itself. A while ago, before we bottomed here, it may have been, I had this little area drawn in, this purple box, which it was going to be my sort of like my best buy zone. We didn't hit that best buy zone, so it was a very clear bottom right here. So that is the Palladium price. It's looking good. Look, of course, not financial advice. Anything could just turn over and, you know, start heading back down. If it does, do watch out for here. And I'll call that the best buy zone if breakdown occurs. Cool. So, whatever. Okay, let me do that again. Yep, and I'll turn that white, and then I will turn that into the center, inside, center. Good, right there. So best buy zone if the breakdown here occurs. Watch out for here between 600 to 460 US per Palladium ounce. Got it good, but we're nowhere near there, and it's looking very positive for Palladium. Okay, good. So that's why I'm bullish on Palladium. And now let's take a look at probably what is going to be, I think, the best play for Palladium if you don't want to try and get the physical, and that would be SBSW. Let me show you. Sibanye-Stillwater. Yoink. Right there. As you can see, this indicates right here my little, and I might be a little bit late to the play. We could see a move back down. I don't know. Who knows? But I took a little position here, and I think my average price buy-in was at $5.07 US per share for Sibanye-Stillwater Limited on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's find out a little bit more about who they are and what they do. Okay, I didn't find that. Right here. No, Sibanye-Stillwater. Give me 1 sec. I had it before. Here we go. Sibanye-Stillwater. Who are they? What do they do? Sibanye-Stillwater. Are we going to get the About Us section? That would be lovely, please. About Us. Sibanye-Stillwater is a multinational mining and metals processing group with a diverse portfolio of operations, projects, and investments across 5 continents. The group is also one of the foremost global recyclers of PGM auto catalysts and has interests in leading mine tailings retreatment operations. Sibanye-Stillwater is one of the largest primary producers of platinum, palladium, and rhodium, and is a top-tier gold producer. It also refines iridium and a bunch of other stuff. Okay, group's recently begun to diversify its asset portfolio into battery metals, mining, processing, blah, 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 blah. So what they primarily do is palladium and platinum. Okay, any more on them? Yeah. Wikipedia established itself one of the world's largest prime producers of palladium. That's just going to be from their website. Now, so why Palladium and why Sibanye-Stillwater? Sibanye-Stillwater, one of the largest producers of Palladium. Why Palladium, though? As well, Palladium price jumps after US suggests sanctions on Russian exports. Russia produces approximately 40% of the world's palladium. And then the US is suggesting sanctions on Russian imports. So that will lower the, that would be the mean palladium will be hard to get. Okay, palladium serves as much as 9.5% after the US asked the group of 7 allies to consider sanctions on Russian exports of the precious metals. This is an article from just a few days ago. The Biden administration floated the potential restrictions after a meeting at the G7 financial officials in Washington. Blah, 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 blah. Shares of the 4 biggest palladium producers in South Africa, the world's second largest source of the metal, all jumped by more than 10%. One of them, Sibanye-Stillwater, there we go, recently announced, and here's the other reason, recently announced its cuts to palladium output as its US mines are due to weak prices. Okay, so they recently come and said, weak prices, we're going to cut our palladium output, and then the US says, we're thinking about putting sanctions on Russian exports of palladium, 40% of the world's production. And then lo and behold, palladium goes boop, and Sibanye-Stillwater goes like that for those two reasons. US sanctions on Russian palladium, and also the company itself saying it's going to halve its output. I think it was half as well. We'll double check that. Sibanye-Stillwater to halve Stillwater output. Okay, Sibanye-Stillwater is to cut production at its US palladium platinum mine 200,000 ounces a year, and is nearing additional prepayment deals on gold as well as chrome, blah, 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 blah. These steps are intended to further shore up the miner's balance sheet following another chastening operation period in which it reported negative free cash flow, blah, 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 blah. The root cause was sustained low prices for platinum group metals in particular, which resulted in blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all this, okay? So basically, it's like a combination of a bunch of things in the one go. So probably a couple of quarters, or maybe some even more than that, of lower palladium prices. So Sibanye-Stillwater have gone, oh man, palladium's really low at the moment. I think we're going to cut production by half. And then the US goes, we're going to potentially put sanctions on Russian palladium. Bop, 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 like that. That's why you've seen the price move. So many people are believing that Sibanye-Stillwater is the best palladium play. If you feel that palladium will continue to rise, I personally do, but you do not want to get into the physical because it's so hard to get. The premiums are high, and the GST component as well. Sibanye-Stillwater might be a play for you. And again, I haven't done all of my research on SBSW. I'm also taking the lead of other people like ASX Trader as well, and I've also got a good old mate of mine who worked with me at one of the bullion dealers. He's recently in it as well, so I've taken a very small position in that. I'm currently bullish on palladium. I don't want to buy the physical. I'm getting Sibanye-Stillwater. Okay, let's talk about the technicals though. Okay, so I got in here at around about $5 roughly. Let's do some quick back of the napkin stuff. So let's take the high in 2016 and the low in, that's going to be 2018. So let's see if there's any areas of confluence just on the Fibonacci, for example. They may or may not be, who knows. That looks interesting. Okay, yeah, you could say that's pretty close-ish. Okay, what you can see very clearly here, clear spike to the 0.618. I wouldn't call this really tight with the Fibonacci, okay? But you can see areas of resistance, areas of support. I wouldn't really call any of this crazy confluent. Confluent is the word. But for me, so instead, let's just do simple lines of support and resistance, okay? And also trend lines. So you could imagine right here, this would be an important one, a longer term one to get over. So have a look of that, okay? That would be your, probably you call it your wake up line or your confirmation line above there. There's two major lines I would look at. I would look at here. I would look at obviously this downtrend line, which we've actually just broken, I think, as well. So that's broken. So that's a good news. The news. Yeah, right there. So that's good news. The first thing is we have broken this trend line right here. Again, this is the monthly time frame. We've broken through here. The next little level, though, on the horizontal support and resistance looks like at around about where I bought in right there. You can see that sort of cluster at that $5 mark. So I may have potentially purchased at a little high? I don't know. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, no, look, on the relative strength index, it looks like we're trending up, so that's good. On the relative strength index on the monthly, we're ticking up as well on this, so looks like the bottom personally to me, not financial advice. That's why I was happy to get in here. On the daily time frame, we're starting to get into extremely overvalued, but we haven't moved into there yet, so that's looking possible for another move up. At least on the daily time frame, you would want to watch out if you were looking to get into this. Okay, I would say anywhere from here is pretty good. You would want to watch it break, and it needs to break here at about $5.80. So I have not waited for confirmation of around about that $5.80 mark. That's what you'd preferably want to see. What you'd want to see, if you were doing it the right way, you'd probably do something like this. It breaks that 580, comes back and tests it, and then breaks off as support. That would be the confirmation that, oh, this thing is really on an uptick, okay? But if you want to be lazy like me and just buy in now, okay, just take the risk if you want to. Not financial advice. Watch out for what you would want to see is no lower than about $4.15, $4.10 US cents, right? You would want to see that break like that. So if we do have a couple of, say this week is a red week or a few days, you wouldn't want to see it close anywhere below about $4.15 preferably, and you want to see it break out and then get back into this area. You could even call that, if you wanted to, the confirmation, where you break down and then break back above the $5 mark. That would probably be a good confirmation as well of getting in. Or, hey, dollar cost average might be the best way to do it. You dollar cost average in your precious metals. Why would you not dollar cost average into a specific stock that you're looking at as well? Let's see on the larger time frame. Any further major levels of support and resistance? Again, because I don't think I'm going to use the Fibonacci for this. I don't think this is as relevant. I'm going to remove that. Let's see. I'll do it on the monthly time frame. And then I will get to your final comments as well. It's going to be a pretty quick show today. Here we go. Very clearly, I think you can see around about there would be about right. So that's around about $10.70, this previous area of resistance right there. Any areas of support? No, look from there. Okay, so for me, this would be, I think, I will do a quick bit of fib. Sorry. Let me do that, because if this is the new high and this is the new low, if it is, are there any areas of confluence? Okay. There you go. All right, so I'm going to put it right there instead. See that right there? So let me move that. It's a little bit higher. Right there is going to be my final hurdle. Right about there. And I'm going to call that, nope, I'm going to put it right there on that spike. There we go. $12.30. Let me get rid of that. Okay. That's the final hurdle. Okay. Doesn't mean you should wait for this, but if you are ultra conservative, like I'm going to wait till this thing is absolutely confirmed it's, going to keep going up, I would be waiting for $12.30 USD final hurdle on the monthly time frame. Okay, and that just coincides with there. It's pretty easy to see. I'm comfortable to get in here because I do think it's bottomed personally. I'm currently bullish on Palladium. I'm bullish according to other things that I've researched on Sibanye-Stillwater. So I'm happy to get in here. And if it has a bit of a dip, I'm happy to get in a little bit more next paycheck and all that kind of stuff. All right, so that is my, I would say getting interested or getting excited? No, I'm going to call it getting excited. I know it's quite well low below the final hurdle, but yeah, I would say here is the getting excited line. Okay, you start closing above $5.80. That kind of $6 mark, you start closing months above $6, and that's my getting excited, okay? I'm just happy to get in down here. And as I said, with this trend line here, this would be maybe an area to watch out for a little bit of resistance where it looks like it's going to be maybe a triple top or something like that, and then it just breaks through. You break through here, and then absolute complete final confirmation. This is the final hurdle for me, but that would just be the icing on the cake. You break that. So that is Sibanye-Stillwater. We've got a lot of room to move on the relative strength index on the monthly time frame. And finally, we'll take a look at the quarterly as well. Yeah, look at that. Real bottoming, and it's ticking over at the moment. So far, so good. Maybe I should have waited for the getting excited line at around about $6, but I'm happy to get in now and ride that wave. That is Sibanye-Stillwater and Palladium. I'm going to get your comments on all of this because I do see there are some. And then maybe we shoot the breeze for 5 minutes and then we get out of here. So let's look. Someone said about Palladium just before. And Lance is in the house too. Great to see you. Let's see. There was a comment on Sibanye-Stillwater. I think it was from either Jason Ashworth. It was from Jason Ashworth. Okay. Sibanye, South African company. So used to be called Goldfields. Very good. When lived in South Africa, the company I worked for used to supply them with mining machinery. There you go. Sibanye, but now they obviously they partnered with someone called Stillwater, so now it's Sibanye-Stillwater. Kalgoorlie is also known as the Goldfields. As a side note, I was the first woman gold plant operator in Coolgardie in 1986. Wow, Tony. Man, you've seen some stuff. I'd love to know what that culture was like. I think, Tony, you and I need to have a proper interview chat on the channel. So how about we arrange that? So send me an email. You know my email address, but send me an email, Tony, at gmstackers@gmail.com. gmstackers@gmail.com. Let's have a chat. I think you should get on the show. Would everyone like to see chat on the show, like interview style? I think that would be really cool. We can talk about your history in the gold industry. I'd love to know more about it. Let's see. Anything about Sibanye-Stillwater? Ben Ferrugia says, I'm enjoying an RDO and my company, it stands for Rare Day Off. Great to see you. Mark, Florida. GMS, sorry that I'm late. How dare you, sir? That's okay. You are more than welcome to turn up anywhere you like. Tony Pearson says, I'll see if I can find the pic of me at 17 years old holding 2 freshly poured bars recovered from tailings dams at Tennant Creek. Both bars were 30 ounces and gold was 800-ish an ounce. I find that photo and you're going to share that on the screen when we chat, when we have a proper chat with Tony Peterson. Let's see. Anything more about Sibanye-Stillwater? Anything more about Palladium? Are you interested in it yourself? Joe really needs to get some Synchronised Slurp coffee mugs. I really like my new daddy mug. I gotta say, my 6-year-old made this, but I think merch is gonna happen. All right, Tony, it's done. I'm going to get some merch done, all right. I'm going to get some merch done, and I'm going to design it, and we're going to do a Synchronised Slurp mug. Sound like a good idea? We will do GMS merch. Part of it, one will be a Synchronised Slurp mug. Maybe on one side it'll say Synchronised Slurp. On the other side it'll say something like, gee, what do you know? Or something like that. So I do agree. Joe, who did you buy it through in terms of Sibanye-Stillwater? I used any kind of brokerage you can use. The brokerage I'm using, there's a good one. I have a few. There's a good one called Interactive Brokers. So, and their fees are pretty cheap too. So Interactive Brokers, Australia. And I think it's interactivebrokers.com, but they're Australian based or something. I think they're pretty global, but Interactive Brokers is the one I use. And it's SBSW is the ticker. Let's see. When Tony says, well, all our fails take them to war, says Gerald Salente. Yes, that's right. Now, if the stock market crashes, I wonder what happens with the miners. That's a great question. I feel like you may have a little bit of a panic dip. So it's something like, when a COVID happens, when a GFC happens, gold and silver and stuff have some dips, but then they pick up, quite quickly. And I feel like it depends what's going on in the world. If gold is going up and silver is going up, if palladium is going up, then it seems like those specific stocks in the mining section would outperform the general stock market. But the short answer is, I don't know, and neither do you. Let's see. Lance says to Chris, we'll follow gold price at the start. At the start is the word. Oh, okay, maybe. Tony says on that, gold mining shares will probably be one of the safer bets. Yeah, to Chris. Yeah, I'm in that camp as well. Lance says, this is what I thought. Heard conflicting statements. Gary Savage avoids them, for example. Yeah, look, short answer is none of us know exactly what one thing's going to do at a particular time. Maybe it did the one thing last time and it won't do that same thing next time. But I'm going to be happy to be in precious metals. Some mining stocks like Sibanye-Stillwater. I'm now looking at some silver shares as well. And I'm also watching the ratios of silver mining stocks versus the silver spot price, and if I see that continue to go up, maybe it might be better to be in stocks for a little bit versus the physical metal. I'll always have a portion of my physical metal in physical metal. I'll always have a portion of my silver in physical metal, but maybe there might become a time where the silver junior miners might be even better than the silver miners. Okay. And Chris King says, you legend. I got in SBSW at $3.92, by the way. That is fantastic. So congratulations to you, Chris. You're kicking it out of the park so far. So that is today's show. This has been Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the family. We talked about the potential best play for Palladium. Looks like it's Sibanye-Stillwater or some kind of ETF like that. Rather than the physical, at least for us here in Australia. If you are only the physical person, hey, try and get it from one of the major bullion dealers if you think you can. And of course, is it today Monday? It must be Monday. It must be Monday. Why? Because I'm having the Monday thing where I just forget to do a bunch of things. But if you wanted to try and get Palladium, they might find a specific bullion dealer to buy it from. If you can't, maybe think about Sibanye-Stillwater. But for buying your regular gold, silver, and platinum, and all that sort of stuff, you've got to head to Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Australia's only dealer that offers free shipping when buying in bulk. That's all I'm going to say. You heard a little bit about them before. perthbullion.com.au, my first brand partner. You have to have them on your rotation as a bullion dealer. They are consistently in the top 3 best dealers, sometimes number 1 for a specific item, for the best prices in all of Australia. Plus, when you factor in the free shipping, it's actually the best prices, because normally, you have to go, okay, well, I'm paying X per ounce from blah, 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 bullion dealer. But now when I pay for shipping, that takes it up an extra notch. So now I'm paying X per ounce. You buy in bulk from Perth Bullion Exchange, you get free shipping. Go to the website, perthbullion.com.au, play around with the website, add things to the shopping cart, and you'll see how quickly it is that it takes to get free shipping. 20 or more items of any type of item, a combination of any, gets you free shipping Australia-wide. So that's Perth Bullion Exchange. And Wealthstack, wealthstack.com, very clearly no longer in maintenance mode, so you can sign up with the desktop app if you want, but it is mainly a phone app. You download it for Android or iPhone. Save and invest in real physical metal held for you. It's an unallocated gold program, but it's backed by one of the largest gold storage facilities and vaulting facilities and wholesalers in the entire world. They're fully LBMA registered, etc. Wealthstack is an Australian-based company, fully Australian regulated, etc. They're only doing gold right now. Roughly towards the end of the year, they will be adding silver. They'll be adding platinum. You'll be able to get a debit card. You'll be able to redeem for physical metal as well. It's such a great program, and the fees are very cheap. Spot plus 1% to get into the unallocated gold program with Wealthstack. No transfer fees, no storage fees, 100% gold backed, etc. Go to wealthstack.com, go down to the bottom left-hand side, click on the frequently asked questions page, read the frequently asked questions, and I think for stackers, it's a great option to diversify your holdings. Okay, maybe you don't want to hold it all in physical, but if nothing else, reach out to your normie friends and tell them about Wealthstack, because Maybe they think you're the crazy collector and they don't want to hold it in their house and all that kind of stuff. They're more risk averse. Hey, Wealthstack would be the perfect thing for your normie friends and family. At least send them the link, wealthstack.com. Hey guys, just check this out. And also you can send them a link to my interview that I did with David Ski, the CEO of Wealthstack, right here. And you can find that on my channel. We talked about all the frequently asked questions and all that. And that's it, people. That is wealthstack.com. And that has been Good Morning Stackers for Monday, the 28th of October, 2024. My party people, I gotta go. What do? We dance it out.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
This has been
Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
Are you ready? Let's do it. Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
And let's do the
Synchronized slurp. Now we're on the move.
in 3, 2, 1. Slurp it.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Woo-wee! What will happen this week? Let's find out. You get another Good Morning Stackers tomorrow morning. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking. See you then.